Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for stopping by, and for those people who are not new, thank you so much for sticking around. Today we are going to be talking about it's another Colourpop video collab. I just posted one on the Laura Lee one that I did a review for, so I will put a link for it somewhere up here for you if you are interested in that. But today we are going to be talking about these two guys right here. Ah! Sorry, the lipsticks on my table just started rolling. But we are going to be talking about these two guys right here, which are the Kathleen times Colourpop collaboration. Now, she has done many with them, so saying collaboration and Kathleen Lights is really not specific. So specifically, this is the Dream collaboration, I guess, in general, because the palette is called Dream Street, and then Dream Team is what the liquid lipstick bundle is called. So just to kind of go over really quick, this is the Eyeshadow Palette, and it is for $16, which is a pretty good price. You get 12 eyeshadows in here. Da, 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 da. Doesn't come with a mirror or anything, but the packaging for it is really pretty. You can tell it's got kind of the holographic shimmery, it's a rose gold. The name of the eyeshadows are on the back. The way that Colourpop does their eyeshadows is always a little confusing for me. I think they do it for YouTubers because if if I'm like pointing to this color, then the back lines up with this color, so it makes it really easy to point and read the names of eyeshadows, but then if you are trying to like flip it, then it can throw you off. So yeah, all the names are on the back of the eyeshadow palette, which is great though. It's a really pretty palette, nice and compact, so easy for travel, and it does have a very nice magnetic closure, which you could hear me doing. And it's got a good range of colors in it. It has 7 mattes, and then 5 shimmers. The only thing for me as far as from a color selection wise, these two colors up here are really similar. In the pan you can tell one has a slightly maybe more rose goldish tint and one has maybe just more of a like brown bronzy tint. But in the swatches you'll see as well, these two are a bit too similar for me. And then this color right here is a very pretty pale, kind of a lilac pink with a gold shimmer to it. And it's not the most pigmented in the world. I need to work with it a little bit more, but it's not the most pigmented one in the world. And, but yeah, overall I really like the color selection. I actually set my eyeshadow today using this color right here, which has a slight shimmer to it, but I can actually use it to set my eyeshadow because it's not a shimmery tone that like screams I'm a shimmer at you. When I set my my eye primer with it, it actually ended up kind of looking like, you could tell there was a slight shimmer, but it overall had a more matte feel to it. And I love the matte colors. So formula wise, the mattes in this are definitely the standout for me. They are amazingly awesome. They are absolutely stunning. They are absolutely phenomenally gorgeous. So like 2 thumbs way up to the mattes on this. I use them to create the eye look that you see on my face. And I will have a little tutorial when we're done talking about all the makeup at the end of the video if you are curious on how I did this look. But so the matte formula for me is beautiful. I love the palettes that Colourpop does. I think their matte formula in particular, for the price point, I think they have the most affordable mattes with some of the best pigmentation and blendability. So I definitely love those. Their shimmers are really nice. I'm not knocking their shimmers. I think their shimmers are great. But I definitely prefer the pigmentation that you get in the Super Shock shadows, the ones that have the little screw tops on them, as opposed to the shimmers in this. These are really pretty though, and their shimmers do work well. So they're nice, but to me the mattes stand out way more than the shimmers do in this palette as far as performance wise. And I think the color selection, she did a really good job. You've got like nice blues, you have a fun pop of orangey, like a coral. It's really more of kind of a bright coral right here. And like I said, all of the colors are different enough except for these two up at the top where I feel like there's a bit of redundancy. So yes, that is the eyeshadow palette. Definitely recommend this guy, and it's really good for travel. You could create a variety of looks with it, but as you can kind of see, they're all going to be warm tone really. The silver is kind of the only cool tone color, and I guess the only kind of like if you're looking for maybe like a con with the color selection is that for this silver I would probably pull from another palette to create a base. I'd either want to use cool tone neutrals, like cool tone or neutral eyeshadows with it, because I'm not sure how much this silver would go with the browns. Like it could work if you wanted like kind of like a warm base with the silver over, but if I was going for overall cool look, this is the only color in the palette where I would really need to pull from another palette to make it work. And so those are the eyeshadows, and then we have got the lipstick. This is the little unicarton that the lipsticks come in. The actual lipsticks, though, that almost rolled away from me earlier, are these guys right here. So she has done two, let me face them towards you, she has done two liquid lipsticks that are the Ultra Satin Matte formula. If you are unfamiliar with them, they dry down to a semi-matte. They're very, 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 very comfortable. The only thing is that they are kiss-proof, so if I do mwah, you will see on my hand, they are not kiss-proof. I think I just said they were kiss-proof. They are not kiss-proof, but the color does last a very long time, so I've worn these all day and I don't have to reapply. So not kiss-proof, but the color still lasts all day. And they are incredibly comfortable. They don't dry your lips out. They're flattering since they are moisturizing. They're not gonna like suck the life out of your lips if they are dry, in particular during winter. I think that's beneficial. And the only thing is it's kind of like with everything, if it's a bright color and it's not drying down to a complete matte. I literally said the exact same thing in the Laura Lee video that I just shot. If you're eating something or whatnot, this can feather like the tiniest bit. It's not going to give you like a clown face, but it can feather just the tiniest of bit. And then let's go ahead and talk about the colors for a second. There is this color right here, which is the one that I have got on my lips. I think in her video she described it as like a very orange red, but this to me is just a straight up orange. It's very, very pretty. It's a very wearable red. Wow, it's a very wearable orange. Nonetheless, though, it is still just an orange to me, and I do think it is really pretty. I'm struggling a little bit on the sole fact that I use like blue-green eyeshadow, and I would never normally pair it with an orange lip, but I wanted to use the dramatic colors in this palette. So it's slightly making my like color coordination a little twitchy, but I actually like it. The more I'm looking at it, I like it. And with this orange color, as is kind of a tendency I feel like with oranges, this goes on pretty opaque for an orange. I will give her that. This goes on, and Colourpop that. This does go on very pigmented, but there is a slight patchiness to it. Nothing crazy noticeable, but I would double this up and do 2 coats of it. No more than 2 coats, because then the formula can get a little gloppy, just because you're layering product on top of product. Nothing wrong with the formula in that manner, but yeah, once I just went over like my bottom lip, it evened out great. I'm not a big fan of the applicator. I kind of went on a mini rant in this in my last video. But the applicator on these is a little bit too fuzzy for me to get like clean lines. You can do it if you flip the brush or flip the applicator, and instead of using the broad end of it, use like just like the tip. But the applicator is not my favorite in this. And then for the packaging, let me see if I can show you. So for the packaging, it's got cute little stars that go around where the cap and the unicart, or where the cap and the tube meet, which is really, really cute. And then it just says on it, Kathleen Lights times Colourpop. And I'm sorry, this is called Rêve. My French is horrible. Le rêve to me is dream in French, but rêve I think is actually the verb for dream. Someone Google check me on that, but I'm pretty sure this is actually the verb of to dream and not actually the word dream. Because le rêve, I believe, is actually just the word dream. I could Google search this, but I'm gonna be lazy and not. So, but yes, so I like this color a lot, and those are my thoughts on it. And then the next Ultra Satin is this guy right here, and it is called Dreamy, and it's just a very, very pretty, just a pretty nude color. It's just a really, really pretty nude. I'm going to go ahead and just do a little swatch on my hand for you so you can see the color and preferably not get it all over myself. And it's got pink tones to it, slightly like mauvey pink tones to it. It's, yeah, that is slightly mauvey. It's just a really pretty good go-to basic neutral that's got, I like it because it's not that pink that's gonna like wash you out. It's that just nice pink that just gives a nice, gives some zhuzh, some life to your lips. And so yeah, that is this color. This one I never have a problem as far as like opacity and whatnot with lighter colors, and yeah, I love this guy right here. And then for the lip gloss, it is called Moonchild, which I think is super cute, especially since this actually has like tiny, tiny little gold reflex in it. You're not going to be able to see it on camera even if I try and zoom. Can you? No. No, you're not going to be able to see it on camera even if I zoom you in. But I will go ahead. And Colourpop has, as you can see from the swatch, this is a pigmented gloss. It's one of their creamy formulas, which is my favorite. I love their metallic as well as their creamy formulas. Don't focus on my face. There we go. So you can kind of see those swatches. But I love the formula of Colourpop glosses. They do dry down a little bit, but I like it because they're still moisturizing, but it doesn't feel like you've got crap all over your lips for the whole day. So I'm a huge fan. And this is a really, really, really flattering color. It's another just really good neutral that you can kind of pop over. This, to me, this color is the perfect color to, say for instance, just throw on a lip liner as your base, pop this over on top of it, and it's just like a gorgeous neutral lip. Or if you're doing like a no makeup day, just adding this on top of your actual, just like your regular lips without any other product would be really, really pretty. And you can actually, the lip bundle is currently on sale on their website for $15. Normally I believe their lip bundles of 3 retail for $18, so it's at a little discounted price right now. Oh, and back to the lip gloss, I love the formula for it, and I like the pigmentation on it. They have a couple different formulas for their lip glosses, and I recommend all of them. They've got sheer, they have like a cream one, which is what this one is, which has higher opacity on it. They have metallic, and I think those are kind of the 3 main formulas that they have. But if you're on their website just kind of poking around wondering, I recommend all of them. And then just check in the description boxes, because their description box will always say the opacity of their lip glosses, because some of them are super pigmented and some of them are literally just there to like add glossy shine to your lips. But yes, that is kind of my thoughts on all of the products. I really love how all of these perform. In case I didn't show you, the packaging has like a little stars and moons and whatnot over kind of like a really pretty marble-y overlay for the packaging on the eyeshadow. I know I zoomed you in to see the stars on the lipsticks, but thought I should mention these stars and pretty moon on this. And yeah, that is it. I'll go ahead and take you into swatches of the eyeshadows, and then after that I will show you how I got the eye look that you see on my face right now, and then we will go into our exit. But do I think it's worth the money? Hands down, yes. The matte eyeshadows in particular were the standout to me for this one. The color selection, in case you forgot what it was, I think is really good. You can create a lot of fun looks with this. It's very versatile. It is definitely a warm palette, even though there's a blue in it. It's kind of, it's a warm, it's like the undertone of it is a bit warmer. It's not a cool tone blue. And yeah, so definitely would recommend this palette. Lipsticks, I always love Colourpop lipsticks for the most part. So yeah, swatches. Let's go. So the first color we're gonna swatch is Shooting Star. And it's just a really nice, pretty, neutral transition color. And then the second color is Magical, which is another pretty transition color, but more orange. Then after that, Stardust. And then Twinkle is the last one in the top row. And I think Twinkle and Stardust look really, really similar to each other. So I wish there'd been a different color thrown in. And then for the next row, we have Sweet Dreams. This was the only color in the palette where I really felt like it was pretty lackluster. The pigmentation on this one just wasn't what I wanted it to be. So I kind of went back in over the swatch to try and make it so you could see it, but it was just the least pigmented in the palette. And then we have Water Bear after it, which is a gorgeous color. I love this one. And then after that you have Potion, and then after that Spark. And for Spark I just did a bad swatch. It wasn't that the eyeshadow was not being pigmented or anything, I just swatched it poorly, so I went back in to fix it a little bit. Then for the last row, the silver color Kaleidoscope, which is really, really pretty, followed by Elfish, which is a really nice chocolatey brown color, and then Moony after that. This color, it's pigmented. You can't see it on my skin, but to me, I actually use it as a matte to set my eyeshadow base because the shimmer is so faint in it. And then the last color is Mermaid Day, which is that really pretty shimmery color that's popular now that has like a black base to it and a teal sheen. So these are all of the swatches, and then as you can see, I'm switching the lighting down so that you can see what they look like with the bright lighting I have on, studio lighting, and then this is just with dimmer lighting. You can see the shimmer a little bit better on some of these guys. And yep, let's go ahead and get into the makeup tutorial. So I'm going to take Water Bear on an angled brush, and we are going to do a super simple makeup look. I'm actually sorry, not taking an angled brush. I'm taking a very tiny, small, flat brush, and we are just going to do a winged eyeliner look with it. It's exactly like doing winged eyeliner with a wet product. There's cons, pluses and minuses like there are to everything. You could actually use a mixing agent like Durline and make this into a liquid liner and apply it like that, but I wanted to keep it a bit more softer looking than that, so I am just using it as the eyeshadow and sketching out the winged eyeliner and then just filling it in how you would kind of with your normal liner. Now, the pros I think for doing it like this are that it's easier to clean up the lines for your eyeliner. So this is a more forgiving way to do winged eyeliner because it's easier to just clean up the eyeshadow with a makeup remover or concealer. And then another pro for me is you can get kind of a softer look with it. The only con is that when you're doing this, be careful because when you're using it like just as in regular eyeshadow, especially with a dark color like this, if you spread it all over your eyes and you keep your eye pretty blank like how I did mine because I'm going for that dramatic look, the eyeshadow can transfer up onto your upper lid if you have small eyes like me in particular. So you do kind of have to be careful with the eyeshadow placement because if you are not, then just from your eye opening and closing with time sometimes you can get a little bit of like green eyeshadow that could pop up. For the way that I did it though, since I have a way I like to do my eyeliner that doesn't cause transfer regardless of the product that I use, I was totally good though, and I wore this the whole day and did not have any issues with it, and it lasted the whole day like a great winged eyeliner if I'd used a gel or liquid product. And don't worry about the lines being too terribly clean because I'm gonna fix it up with concealer. And then specifically for this liner look, I'm gonna be taking that shadow across the entire lash line. Sometimes if you're doing kind of like a less dramatic wing, you can kind of just tuck it halfway into, like, I'll stop applying product about halfway at the eye where I am right now, but I am going to take it all the way across for the full dramatic cat eye effect. And then on this brown color next, I wanted to play around with eye shape a little bit. So I'm actually going to be concentrating the color on the inner part of my eye, and I'm going to use this kind of as just a really simple transition color, but as you can see, I am packing on more color on the inner corner and then softly blending it out towards the edge of, like, kind of towards the middle edge of the eye. And then on this darker brown color, I'm going to go in and intensify the color that we were kind of creating more of an impact with on the inner part of the eye. And I'm going in with an Eco Tools little fluffy blending brush. It's the only brush I feel like that is this small, that's affordable, that actually will blend out your product. It's not too stiff, it's still really nice and soft. And you'll just see me kind of packing the color on, and then going over slowly and blending it out and just kind of doing that until I get it to a place where I like it. And I'm doing this because I just wanted to play around with eye shape. I feel like sometimes I always do the same shape with makeup, so I wanted to fiddle around. And once we've got that dark brown color placed where we want it, I'm going in on a slightly larger, a bit denser, fluffy brush, and then just really, really lightly I am going over the edges of it just to really buff it out and try and get the smoothest transition that I can. And now that the eyeliner is all good, my concealer is the next step that we are going to do, and that is just to clean up the bottom part of that liner so that we really can achieve eyeliner that is sharp enough to cut anyone who dare look at it. And what I'm doing is on the concealer brush, I am going to, at first, in kind of a thick line, outline the bottom part, as you see, of the liner. And I'm going to get the super clean line that I want. And then once I've done that, let it sit for a little bit so that it dries down. This will give you more coverage. And then I'll blend it out, and then when we put on the foundation, this just blends right into it. Another way you can do this is, since I haven't put on my base foundation, another thing that I will do if I don't want to use concealer, I'm just out of makeup wipes, to be honest, that's why I didn't do it. But go in with makeup wipes or makeup remover and a Q-tip, and it's all the same, just carving out that line that you want your wing to be. And then my face makeup has magically appeared, and we are almost done, and we are going to do the waterline with the white eye pencil from Colourpop. And then we are going to tightline the upper part of the eyes with a black liner. This is the Too Faced one. It works really, really well. And I did end up switching though, and I used my Rimmel liner because while I love this pencil, it's a bit thicker, so it's hard for me to get the inner corner of my eye without this kind of making a little bit of a mess of it. So I really want to make sure that I take the tight line all the way to the inner corner of the eye. The reason that we're doing that is because it is really going to intensify that super like dramatic cat eye wing. Since it's such a simple look, it's going to add drama to it, and it's also going to fill out the lash line, so it'll give us a more intense dramatic lash line as well as winged liner. Then we are just going to go in with mascara, or if you like to put on lashes, go ahead and throw your lashes on now. Though for a look like this, I really don't think you need to unless you just really want to. And I actually am not going to put mascara on the lower lash line. I was kind of contemplating it, thinking about it, but I was like, I really like keeping it with just a simple, clean, fresh look. So mascara on the upper lashes was the only thing that I did today, and I kept the brightness on the under eye completely there without putting any mascara in it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the complete look. Super, super simple but dramatic and fun. The lipstick is really kind of the showstopper of this. But yes. So those were the swatches, the little makeup tutorial, and yep, that is it for this video. I hope that you found this helpful, and if you did like it, please make sure to give me a thumbs up down below the bar. You know the whole jam with that. Seems like a small thing, but it really does help me out in the long run. And if you like this, I hope that you subscribe, and I get to see you in my next video. And if you're subscribed, thank you so much. Air hug through the camera. But yeah, I hope to see you in the next video, and that you are having a good day, night, evening, wherever you are. Mwah. Goodbye.
For us to see who can cut it out there in the real world. You've packed your bags, haven't you? Yes. You think you're going home, don't you? Yes. You're not actually going home. You will be leaving on your biggest modelling assignment yet. Oh my gosh. Another massive modelling assignment. It's crazy, like, what are we going to do? Tomorrow, you are going Dubai. I have your boarding passes here. We thought we were going home to our family and friends, but